and this was kind of, I guess, the big conversation. Do you think this person deserved to die? And rarely have we had that clear cut. Now, I'm a pastor first. Rarely have we had that clear cut of a theological conundrum, right? Which is, we were inches away from a much different climate, which I think if the bullet is an inch or so to the right, then we're probably not recording right now. We probably would have recorded that night, and there would have been, the country would have come unglued very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We might be looking at a completely different environment. That would not have been business as usual. But the question has been asked, should the bullet have been an inch to the right?
Mm.
People are literally asking this question, and they're asking the question, does the person who threw the first punch deserve to be the recipient of the harshest consequence? Does the person who created and fomented this sort of political rhetoric over the past 8, 9 years? This is a question people are asking that we have to theologically now engage and consider, because those of us as justice activists, people look at this and say it would be much easier if this person were not here. This is how people think. This would be much easier if this person were not here. Much easier if this person were not around. Much easier if this person were not around to wield power. And it leads us to a real cold, hard, and I, as a pastor, actually want to push us into this conversation. That this is a very important conversation for us to have, specifically probing our hearts to find out, what do we genuinely believe is the answer. And as you've seen this, Jemar, because you're in these spaces, I'm in these spaces where people are actually saying, oh, I wish he weren't alive. How are you navigating this? Because this is a significant moment, and that is a striking, you talk about the soul of a nation, but the soul of a people, a striking consideration.
I think it says a comment about the kind of Christianity people are adhering to, or not, as it turns out. When you have folks saying, I wish he had been killed, I get the sentiment. I get it. He's done a lot of harm and will continue to do so, and possibly even more if he gets elected. But that don't sound like Jesus to me. It
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
And the conversation has shifted to such a degree that if I post something like that on social media, I'll have folks on the left and progressives saying, you know, you're policing our anger, or he deserves it. How can you justify, et cetera, et cetera? Which to me, that's a shift. Certainly there's been strains and elements all along. And but you have folks who are saying publicly they won't even pray for Trump. How'd that work? If you're a Christian, if you're a Jesus follower. So all of that to say, um, your faith is tested in a crisis, and it's revealed in a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what has been revealed to me is very disturbing, because it shows an inhumanity and an insensitivity to simply human life, right? And so to me, it forces us as followers of Jesus to say, do I believe this when it's hard?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do I believe this when every instinct and every emotion and every fact I can marshal says I should wish this person the most irrevocable ill there is?
You know what I
And
thought? Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
I'm so sorry.
no, and will I follow the way of Jesus in the midst of that?